Is a money day.
Yeah, that's all
There's a
right.
money week. We know about money week, and this is money week, and people want to be careful with money, budget, and all kinds of things like
that's
that,
all right.
and all of that. And I have Deborah Gorman with me today, talking out to the world from Newry here, Newry Credit Union.
Right.
How's Credit Union this lovely morning?
Credit union's busy these days.
You're off today, of
We're
course.
off
This
today.
is a
This
day
is
off.
yeah, but,
Monday's the day off.
You'll find that things are picking up now. People are getting themselves together after the summer holidays and want to really look at their finances and get them sorted out. So we're busy enough, loan-wise and advice-wise.
Yeah.
You know.
Does there come a time? What point in the year do people get their they get their dividend in the credit union?
Well, we have our end of year September, end of September, and we pay the dividend in December. So we'll be.
So they'll have it in time for Christmas.
Oh, they will certainly,
Which
and
is
it's a
good.
very big thing for our members. You know what I mean, especially in this climate, this financial climate.
It's
and it
tight
being
at the
so
moment,
tight,
isn't it, Deborah?
Yeah, it is easing,
Yeah.
but it is tight for people.
Yeah, it's not as bad as it was when you started 50 years ago. But I have the memory of times being tight then. And at times you begin to feel the same kind of icy fingers around the throats of people.
You do.
It's there.
And round about the 80s, you would have seen a wee glimpse of it. It wouldn't have been as bad as what it is now, but you would have seen in the 80s with the mortgage rates very high, and that's we're I suppose at a small advantage that the mortgage rates are low. That's a saving grace for those that own their houses. But
do you find that in spite of the economy, that people, your members, are determined to be honourable and to make sure that things are paid?
Yeah, well, it always is different from a bank loan or a loan from another institution other than credit union, because they know it's the people's money. And while we would have cases where maybe loans have to be frozen, you'll find when people do get themselves sorted out, when they do sort of get on top of things and maybe able to make a contribution, they'll come back. And we always welcome them back, and we always give them the second chance. And
Because
I think that's the
you're
beauty of it.
totally non-judgmental there.
Well, that's it. Life changes, and you don't know what will change in your life that'll affect your finances. And it might be a period of your life, and you might go in and out of it, but you more than likely will come out of it.
Yeah.
You know.
So, Credit Union, 50 years in existence down there at the, goodness gracious, it's a long time ago. It's 50 years.
It's a long time ago.
Just 2 years more than 48 years.
That's it. I was only a twinkle in someone's eye.
You were then, goodness gracious, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it has moved on, and in relation to life in the community, it's true to say you're at the heart of the community financially.
Yeah, it is. Like I worked in credit union over 20 years ago as a teller, and came back then in my current post. And there were people then 20 years ago who needed a £10 loan, and there are people today who need a £10 loan.
Really?
Yeah.
Would people come to you for a £10 loan?
They would.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah,
What about oil? It's coming into the chilly. I'm happy to say I haven't yet put my oil on, my heat on, but what about people needing help with their oil and their gas and things like that?
We have an oil loan that has a preferential rate to help people, to get on top of the demand for the oil as such, and it's at 6%. But you do have to pay it back in full before you'll be able to apply for a further one. But it's £500 you're given, and that should do you a good period of time, and with a good budget, then you'll have it paid back by the time you need it.
And £500, how much on average would someone pay you per week or per month for that £500?
Well, it depends on how much they use it, and that's what they have to sit and think. There are those people that would use it very scarcely, and there are those that use it a lot.
Yeah.
So the more scarce they'll have to pay, the smaller premium, and obviously the one that likes to heat themselves up.
Yeah, because they'll be retaking again.
Yeah. So really, it's not the question of how much do you want; it's how long will this amount last you, and then try and then arrange the payment to suit that.
Yeah, because what they're actually doing is they're putting their bill, their oil bill, on a week by week basis. They're breaking it down.
Yeah.
My oil is going to cost me £5 this week, £10 this week, and that makes sense for folk then.
Yeah, I had a wee lady in the other day, and she wanted a Christmas loan, and she also wanted an oil loan, and we made her take her Christmas loan separate and do the oil loan over the 12 months. She's £30 to spare, but she needed to pay £16 off her oil loan to be able to top up when she needed it again. So 14 came off her Christmas loan. So that's the way we work it.
Do you see at first hand in there? this is our St. Vincent de Paul beginnings.
Yes.
We're gathering stuff for the shop so that Vincent de Paul can do good things, and we're asking people to bring stuff to us so that we can give it to the St. Vincent de Paul to make a difference there. They work with poverty on a constant basis. Do you at credit unions see poverty?
Yes. You can have poverty at a very low level, and you also can have an element of poverty at a higher level, you know. We would see poverty in that a lot of our members maybe have a benefit or have good enough income but are not managing it properly, and that's what takes them into the poverty line. You know, we wouldn't see a lot of people who haven't got a substantial amount to keep them, you know, abreast for a full month's expenses or whatever. But you would find an awful lot of the poverty is due to mismanagement and not planning for your finances, you know.
You see, it's a fundamental brick in the edifice of good sense to write it down, to add it up.
That's right.
If you have £10 coming in and you spend £9.50, result happiness. If you have £10 coming in and you pay £10.50 out, result unhappiness.
That's right.
But do people not realise that?
Yeah, but I think people have to go back to the days. I know the days that my parents, when we were young, we had our tin box with our rent, and you had your slot for your rent and your slot for your coal and so forth. You know what I mean? And whatever was left was spending money, and that was it. But you didn't go above it. And I think maybe the like of credit cards and easy access to credit has left people not managing their money in the way they should do. You
but
know?
The time of plenty, so to speak, we couldn't beat the credit card companies away, and they wanted all the time. And now these fellas on Hill Street and other places, the payday loan companies, they're in doing this as well.
Shops,
but I think there's the sign that government's going to.
Well, I think so.
Work
You
against
see
them.
a wee bit without it. You see Wonga's going to be penalised, and they're going to penalise them in such a way that when they get the funds, they're going to feed it into the like of credit unions.
Yes.
I hope that'll come to Northern Ireland.
The Archbishop of Canterbury said
Yes,
exactly the same thing.
You know, so
you have friends in high places.
yeah, it would be good to yes, they'll feed it in the UK, but it's not going to come to Northern Ireland because our legislation is different.
Yes.
But it will come eventually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll do our bit there.
Do you welcome a thing like Money Week? Because, you know, is it just a cliche, or is it an opportunity for people?
Yeah, Money Week I think is a good thing. It's a good thing to put a focus onto it, you know, and I think that, you know, if you have something out there that is advertising, there is difficulty out there, people are getting it difficult, that you're not on your own, you know what I mean? And you don't have to be someone who is unemployed, you can be someone employed in a fairly prestigious job and a fairly good income, but you just haven't managed your money well, you know, and it's to invite people to come along and to maybe seek advice and get information on ways of how they can better their financial situation, and letting them know there's no stigma with it. You know,
But
and that
there,
is the big thing.
down there on Hill Street, you have a member of the credit union staff who's a money management person.
Yes, yeah, we have two girls. We've Lisa Martin, who works on a full-time basis, and Bernie would do 2 or 3 days a week on it as well. And they would be the busiest two girls in our office.
Well, that's a good sign.
It is a good sign, yes.
You know, that
people are addressing it, you know.
Because
And I think over holiday period, people seem to loosen the reins on their spending. And then when it's back to school and uniforms and planning for Christmas, they seem to get their heads together and want to get things sorted out.
You know, I'm at a great time in my life. I have my 10, and I don't have to worry about holidays. I've had all the holidays that a man could ever want.
Good.
I don't have to worry about uniforms for school. That's all done and dusted. All I have to do is buy a bag of rice and live frugally, and I'm all right. I'm blessed. I'm at a great time.
A humble way to live then.
Well, but I mean, it's, you know, a humble is all right, because, and modest is all right with it, because it's not what you buy across the counter that gives you contentment.
No.
It's how you construct your life, and how you work your life, and how you treat with people. But you know, that's credit union,
It's your
right?
soul,
down there.
isn't it, really?
There's a bit of soul there as well. Talking about soul, the credit union, I was telling you earlier, tell the people, Barry Trainor's coming in straight off the plane from Zambia at 10 o'clock. But just to say that I got a phone call the other day from the foundation, from Alan in the foundation of the Irish League of Credit Unions. They have responsibility for helping in the developing world.
That's right.
And he said, Rowan, I've good news for you. The application for your grant this year for your school has been given, been successful. So we've got another 15,000, and that brings the credit union involvement in the SMA school and OLA school. Schools now, there's two, and we've started a third one, is now over 100,000.
That's fantastic.
So thank you very, very much indeed.
Isn't it great that they can help in that way?
Wow, tell me. We'll play you some music. Thank you for coming in.
Not at all.
Bless
Thank you very
you.
much.
You're very kind.